humble yourself. Humble yourself. You know what I'm saying? So it's important. It's important that even in a victory, an emotional victory like that, you as coaches, the adults got to step in, the NCAA got to step in, the conferences got to step in and say, hey, kick their ass on the field, go in the locker room, celebrate your ass off, and enjoy it. Go on social media, talk all your shit on social media, go on rants. But the flag planting thing, just cut the flag planting thing out. All right. So that's my take on it. Again, curious to hear your thoughts. But it leads me actually into the discussion on what we're really going to be diving into today. All right. Rivalry week. Rivalry week. All right. So when it comes to this, all right, when it comes to this, me growing up in Silver Spring, Maryland, all right, growing up in Silver Spring, Maryland, where, again, primarily known as a basketball state, I was one of the ones that gravitated to football. Football became my life. Football became the thing that I got my acceptance with. And actually, my sister was a student at the University of Maryland. And this was back when Under Armour was just getting started and we were still in the Atlantic Coastal Conference, the ACC. We'd play, Maryland would play schools like Florida State. And, you know, it was basically a weaker ACC team. And then about 10 years ago or so, maybe a little over a decade now, they transitioned to the Big Ten. Obviously, because of money and because of the way football and basketball, how money is distributed and all that kind of stuff, you know, again, a lot of politics, a lot of things, a lot of the ways that stuff goes on. So here's what happened. All right. Became a member of the Big Ten, and the school that primarily, when it comes to recruiting, the school that Maryland had to compete with when it comes to where the top recruits were going to go was Penn State, because you see it on the map. You see Maryland, Delaware, Pennsylvania is like right there. So when it comes to landing the top recruits kind of in that Northeast area, if we're talking about FBS level football, Big Ten level football, Penn State was the primary place in which you're going to compete with a lot of different recruits. So 10 years ago, I'll never forget this, because it was back when Randy Edsall was the coach of the University of Maryland. Randy Edsall used to coach at UConn, and he came over to Maryland, and it was around the time the transition was there. And this was around the time also that they flipped Stefon Diggs. All right, Stefon Diggs, who we know is at this point, one of the top receivers in the NFL. He came out of my high school, good counsel, and then he decided to go to Maryland, which really actually shocked everybody.